All right, so this is the second half of lesson 2.2 that we learned on Tuesday and didn't finish. So we're on example 5, and it says we're supposed to sketch the graph of f of x equals 3x to the fourth minus 4x to the third. So the first thing we have to do is
lead coefficient is positive for both the same.
right, we're going to do the lead coefficient. Yes, they can hear me. I don't know if they can hear you. Okay, so as Ethan suggested, it is a positive and an even. Therefore, it's going to be rising on the left and rising on the right. So that gives us our two endpoints on either side. We need to figure out next what our x-intercepts are. So we're going to take and put 0 in for f of x, and then we're going to solve for x. So what goes into both of those? X cubed, we're going to take the x cubed out. That leaves me with 3x minus 4. From this, we can see that x equals 0. What's the multiplicity? Even or odd? Odd. When it's an odd multiplicity, do you remember if it goes through or if it touches and turns? Okay, so it goes through when it's an odd multiplicity. Okay, then we look at this part. We set that equal to 0. 3x minus 4 equals 0. We karate chop and solve. Divide by 3, and x equals 4/3. What's the multiplicity of this? Even or odd? Odd. So it's going to go through again. Okay, so we have a good portion of what we need in order to sketch this. So let's go ahead and throw this on the graph. We know that there is the point 0, 0 right here, and 4/3 0 is another. That's 1 1/3. That's right here, close. We know that it's going to go through at both of those points, and we know that it has to do this. What we don't know is what's happening on either side of those.
They're going up and then it's flat on the bottom.
Okay, well, it could be. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug in some values. These are critical points right here, are zeros. So we're going to just plug in a point on either side of those zeros. So I am going to plug in a point over here, a point in between, and a point over here. So on every side of those critical points, because I want to get a better sketch. It's going to give me a better sketch. We do know it dips below, but we want to have an understanding of how far it dips. Okay? So I am going to put in some easy numbers. I'm going to put in -1. I'm going to put in 1. And I'm going to put in 2. Those are just easy values to plug in. So you can do this a couple of ways. You could just put this into your calculator, into the y equals, and then go to the table and let the calculator do the work for you. The other option is we could just plug the values in ourselves.
3x to the 4.
What is the output when the input is -1? This would be 3 plus 4. Is it 7?
So then we have to go to table.
Yeah, go to table.
Table or table set?
Table.
And then we find our x.
X is -1. Do you see it?
Yeah. 2 is 16.
Okay, so what's negative 1? 7?
I don't have -1.
You can go back. Go with your up arrow.
Oh,
7
7.
and 1. Guys, can you be quiet,
1 is
please?
-1.
1 is negative 1, and 2 is, what did you say, 16? Okay, so when we look at these values, negative 1 is 7 way up here. 1 is negative 1, so that's down here. And 2 is 16, so that goes quite high up here. So we have something that looks like this, which we knew that it was going to look something like that.
How did we get that vertex though?
How did we get the vertex? I don't know if that is the vertex. I'm just sketching between the two x-intercepts. So there might be some more stuff going on there, but it's a sketch, so it's a rough sketch.
How'd you get that upper left corner?
That one?
Yeah.
Right here? I plugged negative 1 in for x, and 7 came out, so negative 1, 7. No, I just took and chose, you know, our zeros were, our zeros were 0 and 4/3. So what I did is I chose an easy number to the left of 0. I chose an easy number between 0 and 4/3, and I chose an easy number to the right of 4/3. So there's 2 critical points, 2 x-intercepts, so that means there needed to be 3 points of my choice to plug in.
What is that in
It's my text thing. Okay, none of your business. All right, let's try one more. Okay, same process. So number 1, we're going to do our lead coefficient test. It's negative and odd. So what does the left-hand behavior look like? Rising, right? What does the right-hand behavior look like?
7.
Falling. Okay, so we know it's going to do this right there. The second thing I need to do is what? The zeros. So we're going to plug 0 in for f of x. And we're going to solve for x. So, John. Okay, how do I solve for this?
Pull out x.
I'm going to pull out a negative x. That gives me,
Pull out a negative 2x.
yeah, I could. Let's pull out a negative 2. That would give me x to the third minus 3x plus 9, right?
Should be x squared.
No, we took it, oh yeah, right here. Gotcha.
Well, it could actually be like, what's that?
If we're dividing, but you're making it harder. We don't really want to divide out the 2. Okay, let's scrap that.
Oh, I tricked you.
Okay, so instead of taking out the negative 2, let's take out the negative x. That gives us 2x squared minus 6x plus 9 over 2. You know what would make it easier? Okay, no.
Multiply it.
No.
Taking out 1/2.
That is an excellent idea.
Let's take out 1/2.
Why? Oh, God.
That would give us 4x squared minus 12x plus 9, wouldn't it? Is that too complicated?
It just doubled everything.
Okay, so we set this equal to 0, and that gives us 0. so our x-intercept, our first x-intercept is 0. Okay, then we got to go to this, and luckily enough for us, this is a repeated binomial. Do you see it? Okay, what's the square root of 4x squared?
Hi, Brianna.
Square root. And what's the square root of 9? And if we put a minus sign in both of these, this is what we have. So what is my x-intercept here? 3/2. Okay. 0 has a multiplicity of what? 1. So that's an odd multiplicity. What does the 3/2 have a multiplicity of?
32.
It's 2 of them, so it's even. So this goes through, and this one just touches and turns. Okay. Let's go ahead and graph this. We have a 0 at 0, and we have a 0 at 3/2. We have 2 zeros, which means we need to come up with 3 points. So I might want to choose an easy one here, an easy one here, and an easy one here. Does that make sense? Okay. So, are you plugging it into your calculator for y equals? Okay, so y equals negative 2x to the third plus 6x squared minus 9/2 x. Plug it into your y equals and then go to the table. So when x is negative 1, what's our y value? Anybody? Did you plug it in? Oh, sorry. Okay, it's back in. Okay, there we go. Okay, so did anybody get it plugged in yet? No. Okay, negative 2x to the third plus 6. There's a caret key on the right above the divide by.
Hey, who's math first team?
Okay. Good news, I have mine up and running. So negative 1 as an input gives me an output of 12.5. 1 gives me an output of negative 0.5. And 2 gives me an output of negative 1. So this is what we have at negative 1. At negative 1, it's way up here. At 1, it's at negative 1/2. And at 2, it's at negative 1. So what does that mean for us? We're going to go through. Then we're going to go back and touch and turn. So it looks something like this. And then you can see that we have our up on the left, down on the right. Okay, that's it.